All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rakakudash. I want to give double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and grace and peace to you elect around the four winds, believing and pushing this truth in all sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. This is your fellow servant, Rukoyer from the GMS Orlando camp, coming at you with another impromptu lesson. I came across some information earlier today that I wanted to get into through the Spirit. Lord willing to edify unto you elect. Because America, which is Babylon the Great according to the scriptures, has been on a steady decline ever since the late 60s, 70s era. And now we're starting to experience the latter stages of that decline, all right, of America, Babylon the Great. We're approaching prophecies such as sedition among men, civil unrest, all right, no work, all right, the grinding ceasing, all right, alongside much more. And what people don't realize is there's been a steady strain that's been put on a society strategically, all right, by those who control the resources, all right, the chief heads of Esau, all right, Amalek, which goes into those who control the resources, all right, your Rothschilds, your DuPonts, your Gettys, your Oppenheimers, all right, and so on and so forth. Okay, they have been putting a steady strain on the Babylonian society strategically, okay, because they plan on implementing their mark within society, all right, which is the RFID microchip, all right, to control every facet of life, all right, to control life itself, commerce, buying and selling, all right, to control where you are, who you're with, all right, how you get there, so on and so forth. Okay, and this is the type of society that's being engineered, and people don't understand what's going on around them. And I just have some information, just on the societal aspect of America, Babylon the Great's decline. All right, because living or the price of living itself has drastically went up. All right, the price of living itself, to live on this earth. All right, Esau has made it damn near impossible to live on this earth in general. And that cost of living itself has only gone up as the years have gone by. And people have not been able to one, cope with it, all right, two, pay for it, and three, maintain it. And this is going to steadily increase and increase until there's another recession, okay, till there's another economic collapse, all right, and the prophecy here in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, all right, is fulfilled, okay, going into sedition, all right, but I'm gonna grab this precept, then we'll grab we'll grab those that information that I was looking at. Once again, Lord wants to edify unto you elect. Just want to, go into, some of the signs that we're seeing on the societal aspect to let us know that we're at the latter end of this empire. Okay? Because there's a significance to everything that's happening in the society. We can link everything that's happening, okay, in the world to what's prophesied in the Bible. Okay, our elders and apostles bring this out all the time. Okay, everything that you see going on the planet is able to be linked to the Bible. All right, the Lord didn't leave us in the gray areas concerning the times that we're living in. So matter of fact, let me get that too. Let's get that in 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter. All right, we're not in, the Lord didn't leave us in the dark. Okay, we've received the light, all right, which is the light of this truth. All right, the truth has illuminated us to what's going on. It's illuminated us in the valley of the shadow of death. Okay, it's given light unto things that were, unto the things that Esau cast in darkness. Okay, Esau being the so-called white man, all right, the so-called Caucasians. All right, chiefly, the head of Esau, those who control the resources. But nevertheless, all right, this is 1 Thessalonians 5 and verse 1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. Okay, and the Lord is coming as a thief in the night to those who are not paying attention. All right, those who aren't paying attention to the signs and the times, and who aren't measuring the times diligently, like the Lord told us to do in 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter. Okay, the Lord told us to measure the times diligently, and the way that we do that is by looking and watching for prophecy. All right, standing on our watchtower, like it says in Habakkuk, the second chapter. Okay, and waiting to see what the Lord is going to say to us. All right, and right now the Lord is starting to speak more frequently, all right, concerning end time prophecy. So we know what time and season we're in. All right, go read Ecclesiastes, the third chapter. We're in the time of the plucking up. All right, the Lord is plucking up this kingdom and planting the seed of the kingdom of heaven, starting with the remnant. Okay, under Yahweh Shai. So it says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that that day should overtake you as a thief." All right, that the day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light, and the children of the day. We are not of the night, nor of darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. All right, and that is the task that we've been tasked with through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai here in these latter days. All right, as watchmen and as, believers yourself. Those of you who are believers, those who may fall under that category, or those who, are commissioned to be prophets and priests. Okay, the Lord has commissioned us all to watch, all right, and be sober concerning the times, all right. And so jumping into this, right, this is 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter, and I'm gonna start at the 5th verse. It says, I'm gonna start at the 1st verse and jump down. It says, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true." Okay, and these words are that have been reiterated since, the 60s, starting with our elders, the elder Abba Bivens, going down to our elder apostle Tahar, the elder apostle Gabar, the elder apostle Ramlav, the elder apostle Rakah, okay, and the elder apostle, the elder bishops, okay, and all the elders, on down. Okay, these words have constantly been reiterated, all right, and they're starting to show themselves to be faithful and true, because we're experiencing now everything that was written. Okay, so it says, jumping down to verse 5, "Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore, saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more, as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually." All right, and which goes to show you that the Lord is hearing our complaints. Lord willing, we're the elect. Okay, we're sighing and crying. We've been sighing and crying for all the abominations that are being done in the midst of us. All right, like it says in Ezekiel 9:4. Okay, we've been sighing and crying for everything that we've been experiencing in this life. Just like a lot, man. Vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked every single day. It's a constant reminder of transgression. We have every day is a constant front row seat to the disrespect of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Every day is a constant reminder of how abased we are, and we are sighing and crying for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof, man. This world has been turned to shit under the rule of Esau Edom, the so-called white man. And there's no light way to put that. The world has been turned to shit. Life itself has become mundane and unbearable. Unbearable. I dare you to look up the suicide rates for America. I dare you. And then you ask yourself, is that the type of society or kingdom that the Lord prophesied of, of being, the kingdom of heaven, man? No, it's not. It's not. The way that this kingdom is being ran is a product of fools reigning instead of princes, which is going to change soon. All right. Soon the Lord is going to put over the earth one that is profitable, like it says in Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, the 10th chapter and the 4th verse. All right, but continuing on, it says, and therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. I'm gonna jump down to verse 11. It says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. All right, so it's letting you know that it's not speaking about ancient Egypt, okay, because it says, and it will smite Egypt with plagues as before. All right, America, or Babylon the Great, is the modern day Egypt. Okay, this is the modern day bondage, like it says in this, Exodus 20:2. All right, this is the modern place of bondage for predominantly for you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Okay, this is Egypt. All right, modern day Egypt. And the Lord said he was going to smite it with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smit with the plague and punishment that the Heavenly Father shall bring upon it. All right, and a part of that plague and punishment is the societal and economic downfall that is taking place right before our eyes as we speak. All right, now, let's see. Let's get into it. Now, the average cost of a home, all right, going back into the 1960s, going into the late 1970s, all right, was $27,000 to $40,000, all right, dollars. Now, when you go and you do your research, all right, the modern or the average median cost for a house or a home as of 2024 in the United States is $419. I mean, $419,000. Slaki, I read that wrong. All right, which is a significant jump. All right, which is a significant jump in price. Now we're gonna get to why this is significant, because you're gonna see the average income. All right, but this is the for a new car in that day. All right, the average was $3,430. Okay, as of right now, the average price of a new car is $48,000 to $50,000. All right, now we jump over. All right, the average cost of groceries per week was $30 to $40. Nowadays, the average cost of groceries is $270 a week. All right, summing up to $1,080 per month. Okay, which is a significant jump. And not to mention the different taxes and systems that are being set in place to drive those grocery prices up. All right, not to mention the tariffs that have just been placed on Canada and Mexico as well, which is going to directly affect the produce sector of America, Babylon the Great. All right, I did a lesson, just a quick side note. I did a lesson a few weeks ago going into the VAT system. All right, that's taking place over in Trinidad and Tobago, which, to sum it up, making a long story short, it's an extra 16% sales tax. All right, that's adding on top of the average sale tax to subsidize the government, because they've been losing money regarding tourism. A lot of tourists have stopped going to Trinidad and Tobago because of the the crime rate, so to speak. So they've been losing money. So they implemented the VAT system, to help subsidize their government. And the very same systems are coming to America, Babylon the Great. All right, because the average sale tax here, I would say here in Florida, is 6%. So you add 6% on top of whatever you buy, eggs, chicken, some cleaning supplies, or whatever you go to the grocery store for. You plan on spending maybe $100 at most. All right, but you have the sales tax, which is 6%. And then when you add the VAT tax on top of that 6%, okay, you're adding 16% on top of that 6%. So you walk out of there spending way more than $100. You'd be spending more close to about $300, man, and some change. which is something that a lot of American households can't bear. They can't take that hit because the average household income does not meet, those needs to be able to have that type of leeway when it comes to groceries, man. Because the cost of housing, the cost of living is so high, people are basically living check to check, which is already causing a civil strain. People are disgruntled. All right, people are disgruntled, man. People are complaining. All right, you now have your average Joe Smo Edomite complaining. He's complaining about how life is hard, how he has to have 2 jobs. You have Edomite women to whom this society was originally engineered for. The so-called white woman is complaining. She's complaining about having to work 2 jobs and barely maintaining her mundane way of life at that. So that's saying something, man. That's saying something regarding the times that we're in, man. Fuck. I forgot what I was getting into. Lord wanted to come back. But so a gallon of gas was on average 36 cents. All right, when you go here, it says the average gas per gallon in the U.S. is 308, and I just came from Hawaii not too long ago, and gas prices up there were $5. Man, I was looking at some places for regular gas, 87, $5, $5, man. It's getting ridiculous, and it's going to get even more ridiculous because these tariffs have been set in place, all right, by old DJ Trump, which is excellent. All right, Lord willing, he's going to be the one to drive this society all the way into the shitter, because it's been circling the drain for a long time now. Now it's going ahead and it's time for it to go ahead and go down them fucking pipes, man. All right, and the Lord is bringing it to pass. But all right, so it says the average salary per year was $9,000 to $11,000. All right, now when you get into the average salary today, okay, in the U.S. is $66,000, which does not equate for the average Israelite. All right, and I did a video on this a couple of months back. All right, it was a Jake, going into the median household income for an Israelite household. Okay, 2-parent household, which is rare when it comes to the Israelite community because of the curses. All right, in Deuteronomy 28th chapter. All right, the Lord said that a part of the plagues that will be sent upon our nation will be single-parent households, which is very prevalent in the Israelite community. All right, but nevertheless, the median income, okay, for an Israelite household is $25,000 to $30,000 a year, which is borderline poverty. Okay, this number that is giving you is equating Edomites. All right, but when you look into the Israelite, the average Israelite income is $25,000 to $30,000. Excuse me, flat. 2 parents. So when you go back and you take into play that the average house as of 2024 is $419,000, and then you go into the average price of a new car, which is $48,000 to $50,000, which, according to Esau science, even Edomites only making 66,000. So a car itself is over 80%, 90% of that salary. And for the average Israelite household, that's 100% of the salary plus some. It's unbearable. It's unsustainable. It's unsustainable. You can't get a new car. You'll curse with a lemon. Oh, fuck. You curse with a lemon, man. which, you venture to say that you pay more for a lemon than you would for a new car, because the cost of maintenance, upkeep, all that bullshit on a lemon is far greater than a new car. So you're gonna end up spending more than $50,000 for a fucking lemon. And then on top of that, we're not even gonna get into credit. You know what I'm saying? We're not even gonna get into that. All right, but then you go into this, right? Groceries. Okay, this is more than what the average Israelite home is pulling in a week. $270. All right, which the price of this once again is going up because of the tariffs that have been set in place. Okay, which is going to affect the produce. All right, which is going to put a strain on the economy. It's going to put a strain on these people, which is why, all right, in 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter, going down and to the 14th verse, it says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." Why? "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading of one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." All right, so right now we read about race wars, okay? We read about class wars, all right, happening. Okay, and we also read about sedition, which is a concerted attempt to overthrow civil authority. All right, people are going to come together for a moment in time, a period in time, until they realize, that they're all demons and they all have their own self-interest at hand, and they all turn against each other, like it's going to go on to say. But they're going to come together to turn against their kings and princes. All right, your DJ Trumps, I forget what the fucking this douchebag, the vice president, forget what his name is, Vance something. But turning against him, turning against the politicians, your Senate houses. All right, and they're going to take actions into their own hand. They're going to take the power into their own hands, which means what? That whatever they're capable of doing, whatever they have the firepower, all right, to do, they're going to do. If Esau don't want no niggas in his neighborhood, guess what? He going to arm up that militia, and they're going to kick you niggas out. Anything darker than a brown paper bag, baby. It's going back to them days. If you don't want you in his neighborhoods, he's gonna kick you out. If you want to take that house, he's gonna take it. If you want them food, if they starving, they're gonna take that food, man. If they need a place to stay, they running up in that house. It's gonna be all out sedition. It's gonna be all out hell. All right, go watch the movie Bushwick. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able," martial law. "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid." Okay, and these are the times that we're coming into. All right, we can't stress it enough. All right, this is the course, all right, that society is headed, and it's all engineered really through Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. All right, it's all been engineered from the Lord, man. All right, the Lord said that he will place a perverse spirit in the midst of Egypt, like he's in Isaiah the 19th chapter. And that's exactly what we're seeing. We're seeing that perverse spirit spread. And as it spreads, all right, people are getting more and more, crazy. All right, and prophecy is being fulfilled. But, the point being, went off on a little tangent, but the point being, all right, the average yearly salary does not equate to the cost of the basic necessities in life. The average person can't buy a home, because if you buy a home under that salary, you'll sign yourself to a death note or a mortgage for goddamn 35, 40 years. You'll be paying $1,000 mortgage, or hell, scratch that, $2,000 plus mortgage for 35 plus years. That means that you will have to stay at your job. Let's not even get into it, man. Fuck all that, man. That's a rabbit hole. All right, let's get into it. So the movie tickets, I didn't get into that, but the unemployment rate was 5 to 9%. All right, and the average unemployment rate today is it says here 4.1%. All right, which is a drop, but these numbers could be wrong. All right, because the there has been a significant rise in homelessness since 2021. 2020, when the pandemic came into action, when that whole thing happened with number 19. All right, there's been a significant rise in unemployment and homelessness. Okay, so these numbers may be off. Birth cost, the cost of birth has went up significantly. All right, back in the day, it was $1,500. Nowadays, it's ranging from $13,000 to $22,000. Okay, and they're coming out of pocket copay. If you have a good copay or a good insurance, you may be paying. It says what, 2,000 or 3,000, depending on if you have good insurance or not. Which a lot of Jakes, don't have good insurance. So they end up, in a bad predicament. The average apartment rent, talking about apartments, I just looked up Florida. All right, the average rent here in Florida is $2,450. Back in the day, it was $108. The average rent nowadays is $2,450 here in Florida. The national average, which is, this says here, is 18.24% higher than the national average, which is $2,072. So, like, I don't know why the fuck I'm twisted up on that. I'm excited. But just looking at that alone, living is unaffordable. You can barely afford an apartment. You can barely afford an apartment. An apartment is taking up 40% of your check, man. And then on top of that, groceries, your car note, any maintenance you have to do on your car, and so on and so forth. You already know what I'm talking about, man. All right, but living itself, all right, Esau is putting a constraint on living because he plans on offering up a solution, which is the RFID microchip. All right, a convenient way of living, 15-minute cities, and so on and so forth. All right, and we see how he's conditioning the people into gradually accepting, his solution to the problem that he's created due to the mismanaging of the resources that the Lord has given him. All right. It says religion statistics, which is also interesting because, as you know, one of the elders did a lesson on it a couple of years ago. You have something called the mass exodus. The elder Yashawamba did a lesson on it a couple of years ago, going into the mass exodus in regarding the Christian church, because a lot of people are leaving off from those so-called Christian values and going into spirituality, whether it be calling on their fucking ancestors, hitting them jujubes or whatever the fuck. They are exiting Christianity because Christianity has been found to be a lie. All right, and that's due to the truth, all right, being put in place. All right, the vibration of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai going throughout the earth. All right, Christianity has been found to be a lie. All right, and people are leaving off from it. So back in the day, in America, 90% identified as Christians, 2% small hat, and 5% other religion. As of today, 62%. All right, almost a 30% drop identify as Christian. 40 Protestant, 19 Catholic, and 29 are religiously unaffiliated. You can count them damn near as atheists. Okay, there's been a significant moral decay here in America, Babylon the Great as well, which goes into that perverse spirit in Isaiah in the 19th chapter. All right. Now, that's really all the information I wanted to get into. The divorce rate is about the same. It's about the same, 50%. It's about the same. A little bit higher than it was back in the day. Due to the different incentives that Esau has put in place for single, parent households. Divorce rates have went up. But nevertheless, man, that's all I wanted to get into. We just want to get into this information. I find it interesting, how America, Babylon the Great, has been on a steady decline, and now we are starting to experience the latter end of that decline. All right, we're in the latter stages of the decline or the downfall of a hegemony of an empire, man. We're experiencing this, and these are the things that the Lord told us about. These are the things the Lord told us to watch out for. All right, because these things let us know that the Lord is closer than he's ever been. All right, to prepare ourselves mentally and spiritually for what's getting ready to happen, because there's going to be a tribulation following these things. All right, there's going to be a tribulation following the economic collapse of Babylon the Great. All right, and it's important that we prepare ourselves now, mentally and spiritually. Okay, and also, prepare yourself for the mercy and the salvation as well. All right, because the Lord said, as he would destroy, he would save. All right, and our hope is in that the Lord will remember us for mercy in his wrath. All right, just like he did our forefathers. But nevertheless, that's all I had, Lord. When this is edifying unto you elect, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim Rakakudash. I want to give double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. In grace and peace to you elect around the four winds, believing and pushing this truth in all sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. Shalom. Stay up.